now.
You are about to listen to Only Fools and Collecting, a podcast for those who like a good moan about figure collecting and don't mind naughty words.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this pre-recorded episode of OFAC. This will be looking into the future, episode 33.
Yep.
We are. This will be everyone's New Year's Eve, but this is our dank, wet Thursday a couple of weeks back. Purely because we don't trust the internet on New Year's Eve, not because we're going to be out getting wankered, doing lines of coke off of prostitutes or anything like that. We are not that interesting, to be fair.
No, we are under strict orders from the corporate sponsor to get this in the bag. So we've got a pre-recorded show. So yeah,
for once we're actually doing what we're told as well. So he should be proud of us, to be fair. He should be proud. But we will start every show like we normally do, even though it's pre-recorded, with a little thank you to Mr. Watto for sponsoring us. If you want 3D printed Kenner parts, or you want head sculpts, or anything really 3D printing and designing, he is your man. He's doing some really good stuff. He is caning the Mando stuff. Its episode drops Friday. New stuff comes out Monday. He is killing it at the moment. So well worth dropping him a message and having a look at his Facebook and Instagram. Go forth.
Top man, sure.
Yep. And we've got a bit of a special one today. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Lee with us. From the Good, the Bad, and the Robots. Welcome. How are you?
Lee.
All right, gentlemen. Yeah, good. Thanks for having me. Yeah, really good. Really chuffed to be on here. And the legend. I thought legends were names given to people that were dead. Is it not legacy while he's still alive?
Well, you're looking a bit rough. So
yeah, I've had a long day, mate.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I know. I'm already in my pajamas, and the moment we stop this, I'm going straight to bed. I'm that tired.
You're very welcome, Lee, and we've chatted about you quite a lot, and we've always been the name that we've wanted to get on the show.
Only good things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We thought it'd always be interesting to have you on the show, and obviously this makes perfect sense to get you in on the show for the pre-record. So yeah, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a big fan actually. I have been watching quite a few of them, and I think you passed the 30 mark now, aren't you? Which is
this will be 33. So
wow.
we've done.
It's
we're
about
quite
a year
impressed,
now,
weren't
I
we?
think.
Over a year. Yeah, I think it was about November-ish, October, November last year. So yeah,
wow.
Well, we're still enjoying it, and as we always say, we're just here having a chat and talking shit. And if anybody else finds it interesting, then that's just a bonus.
And sometimes we get upwards of 10 people watching at a time.
Live.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Wow.
Double figures.
Yeah, the big numbers.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks. I'm looking forward to the show. Really good. Thank you.
Be good. So do you want to start by just telling us a little bit about the Good, the Bad, and the Robots?
Yeah.
So I'm an online retailer of not just 1/6, but it is mainly quarter scale, a couple of life-size bits, very rare, but the niche really is 1/6, 1/4, mainly hot toys, and whatever else kind of tickles my fancy. I've always done well in the fact that I can pick and choose what I want to sell rather than being expected to get it all. Does that make sense? Because I'm sure, like you guys, the pre-order pictures come out and you just think, nah. And I've got to think of that on how many units that's going to sell, So it's 20 NAS and I won't do it.
Yeah.
I must admit, there's some stuff, you see the preview, you just go, no, not for me. Not for me.
No, and especially when you're running it as a business, obviously the numbers are pretty crucial. You need to be able to shift a certain amount to make it worth your while.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, you've got minimum order quantities to contend with.
Right.
You've got to think about the long game as well. So something that could be a massive craze right now, is it still going to be such a massive craze when the figure finally comes out? So,
yeah.
I suppose, especially with those like 2-year waits and stuff now.
They don't always time them properly, do they?
No. No.
Yet the adverse effect of that is also happening. So
Mm.
I kick myself now for not ordering enough Mandos, but
Oh,
Yeah.
it was announced so early. You know, you got to make a judgment call, and nobody really knew. They kept it so under wraps. Nobody
Yeah.
kind of knew how it was going to feel, how it was going to look. So unfortunately, I fell short there. But there you
The
go.
other thing these days, you've kind of got to predict who's going to die in the next 2 years as well, because as soon as that happens, the figures turn around, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, oh my God. We better not get started on instant price rises on certain sites, had we?
No.
No.
No, okay.
No.
Probably not. You're
No.
all right.
Toys Blunderland.
So yeah,
Honest mistake, though.
sorry.
It's an honest mistake, apparently.
Yes,
Twice.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't happen before with
No.
Chadwick, did it? No.
No.
So I guess the final point to add about what is the good, the bad, and the robots. Well, it is now really a majority pre-order site. I dabbled a little bit in pre-loved, pre-owned, whatever you want to call it, and I just don't have the time anymore, unfortunately. So it's
Yeah, just to be clear, this isn't you have a full-time job as well as doing this, yeah?
yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do both. That must take up so much time.
Yeah, that's why I look so old and withdrawn. And,
It's
so
got
dark
business,
under the eyes.
you packaging every single package up yourself manually and
Right,
no
little
help.
notes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't do it all myself. I do have help. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to cope. So yeah, I've got a part timer that helps out. Who incidentally was one of the founders. I was a partnership to start with, and I bought him out, and he just helps me now and again. It's good.
Ah,
So does it sort of take up quite a lot of your weekends and stuff, does it? Or is it,
Not
how
now.
roughly? No.
Oh, no. I've got it to a point where I've always wanted it, and none of us ever want to turn down new custom.
No.
But for those of you that keep an eye on the store, you'll realise that after announcement, I'm sold out pretty quick.
Yeah.
And that's because I contain the amount of units that I want, and I get it for the best price I can. And it just keeps it manageable.
And that's good, because I think, I'm not going to mention any names, but there are some other UK retailers that I think tried to get too big and found they couldn't deal with the volume. And I think your customer service can go out the window if you haven't got enough support behind it.
We've seen a few come and go over the years, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've outlived them all.
Yeah. So where did the name come from anyway, Lee?
Oh, that's a good question. So originally I came up with heroes, villains, and droids. And much to my disgust, quite a big firm in the US already have it.
Right.
Sounds rubbish anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I like that. So I just wanted to come up with something that just encapsulated everything about what these things are. And to be honest, they're either good, they're bad, or they're not human. They're robots. It wouldn't be right calling it the good, the bad, the robots and monsters, would it? So I just shortened it to that.
It doesn't quite roll off the tongue in the same way, does it?
No.
Yeah, and there it is. Yeah, it's a brand that I've just had from the start and never ever thought about changing. It works.
It's easy to remember. It's a good one. Yeah. So if I come in the next question, so you talked obviously primarily 1/6 scale, and obviously you are a collector as well. So I suppose the question is, when did you first get into collecting 1/6, and kind of when did you discover it as a thing? Because we all kind of had that eureka moment where we first saw Hot Toys and went, "What the fuck is that? I need that." And then how that, I suppose, translated into you then doing it as a business.
Yeah. Okay. It's really hard to keep so brief. I could keep you here all night. So I'm going to come up really quick segments. The Good, the Bad, and the Robots, before it was called that, started life as a kind of rediscovery. I guess after I'd done the teenage years of rock and roll and sex, and I never did drugs, so I can't say that. But drinking and I kind of rediscovered my old childhood hobby, which was collecting, and I was looking through the free paper. Do you remember the yellow one that came out every week? Or am I showing my age here?
Loose.
Yeah,
Loose.
the free ads.
Yeah,
another one. Yeah.
And I just spotted somebody down the road, not far from me, selling some Star Wars figures. They hadn't really put a price. It didn't kind of make sense. So I rang her up and I visited her, and she was fairly, not an elderly lady, but she basically said her son had grown up, gone to the Navy, and she was just clearing out the attic, and would I be interested in these? And anyway, she opened the lid, and I had to keep my composure, because I thought I was going in there looking for these red wave 90s jobs, and there in front of me were 32 sealed vintage Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back.
And that's how he made his first million.
Yeah.
And just to make you sick, I walked out of there for 30 of them. I paid 50 quid.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Have you still got them?
No. So fast forward, we didn't have eBay back then, not really, and I started going to the toy fairs, started meeting new people, and all I would do is literally set up a wallpaper pasting table and lay out these figures, and the interest generated was a lot, and because there was no eBay, they were more valuable because there was less, able to source, and the eureka moment was when I sold the first one for 140. And I just thought,
wow,
maybe you've got a little bit of an entrepreneurial streak in there somewhere, And it just started to escalate. Then fast forward, got married, had a honeymoon in Florida, ended up in this mall. There was a comic book shop, and I saw in the window the Gentle Giant Matrix busts. And I'm talking 2004, is a long time ago. Man, they were the most realistic thing I'd ever seen in my life. It was I could have one of those. Back then, of course, it was $2 to the pound, so we were living like royalty over there. And this bus worked out at like 17 quid. So I thought, wow, it's limited edition. So I bought this Neo, bought it back with me, and then I started sourcing other toy shops that sold it. Found one fairly locally, and then the next phase was I hit Sideshow, and it was premium formats that caught my eye, and that's how the Good, the Bad, and the Robot started. I started literally in as a retail in statues in quarter scale premium formats.
Okay,
all right,
cool,
nice.
And then the 1/6 came very quickly after, because after a year of doing premium formats and realizing that every tiny little nick, every tiny little chip halves the bloody value, I just thought, fuck this, we'll get rid of that, and I started getting the plastic figures in, because I knew there's no, they hardly get damaged, and the parts were there in case you had any complaints.
It's not just the little chips and nicks, it's also if you haven't got the shipper, that halves the value again.
Yeah, the shipper, hey, the shipper. It's always baffled me, that has, but there you go.
I don't get it either.
Nah.
Do all your figures come with shippers, Steve? Lee, sorry.
No,
they don't, because you're straight from Hong Kong, so they wouldn't have them yet.
Yeah, I don't import from Hong Kong, but no, mine don't come with shippers.
Right, okay.
It's
only through Sideshow, isn't it?
Yeah, Sideshow distribution. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. No, it's a nonsense. It's an absolute nonsense. But we had a good laugh on people's expense over the years with that.
Yeah, big time.
Well, the quarter scales and anything with what they call the slide box design, so the die cast Iron Men, things like that, they do come with shippers, because it's too what's the word?
It moves about transport, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you slide stills there, you're gonna have boxes doing that, So they do put those in shippers, but no, it don't bother me. Weirdly, shipping boxes is just more weight, which costs more money, which comes out of my profit margin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I suppose the next question is kind of a double hander. So, what's it like being a retailer in the UK now. I suppose with COVID, and also I suppose whether Brexit's going to have any impact on you, and also how do you feel that the Hong Kong sellers are impacting the UK retailers in terms of people going direct to people in Hong Kong?
Yeah, okay. Being a UK retailer has always been a roller coaster ride. It always has been ever since, I kind of officially opened in 2007. Yeah, coronavirus has had quite a positive effect.
Yeah.
It completely halted import shipping, and people had money to burn. And yeah, I got rid of so much stock and excess.
Right. Yeah.
It was unreal.
Oh,
It's
wow.
really, really good.
Yeah.
And then of course, like, for some crazy reason, and this, guys, what the fucking hell happened to Star Wars? I mean, the price just
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. Like, you try and pick up some of the old bullshit sideshow stuff, and you've got twats selling like the Empire Han that you could pick up for like 50 quid for like 150, and you're like, fuck right off, I'm not paying that.
Everything's 350, 400 now, isn't it?
Yeah.
The really abstract characters like the K2SO out of Solo.
Oh yeah.
400 notes all day long.
I've had to accept that I'm never going to own a Tarkin unless they do a release a Rogue One version. I'm not
fucking Yavin Luke, 80 quid, you can fuck right off. Like, no one wants that. No one. It's fucking mad.
I think what happened to Star Wars is Mando. It's just rejuvenated everyone's interest, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you have that cycle, don't you, with Marvel and Star Wars, and there's no Marvel. It's just all Star Wars.
Yeah. I think it's just picked up where the don't bite me, guys, but I think it's picked up where the last 3 films failed. I'm not saying I didn't like them. I thought they were okay.
Totally agree.
But they weren't wow, and Mando is wow, in my opinion.
Proper Star Wars, isn't it?
Yeah. It's unashamed fan service, and we don't mind that. That's fine.
Yes,
not a problem.
They're going to announce a load more tonight as well, aren't they? From 9:30 onwards, it's going to start announcing new shows and movies. So there'll be even more coming out.
So I suppose, Lee, just to butt in before you answer the bit about the HK stuff. So did you get burnt on any of the TFA stuff? Did you all overorder and then just people weren't buying it? Yeah.
Yeah, the troopers.
Yeah.
But even they've shot up lately.
Yes, yeah, they have. That was the pre-orders for that was so in advance of the movies. I looked at them and I thought, I don't like them, but it's Star Wars, it's gonna sell.
No.
Oh my god. One of the biggest nightmares I've had in 13 years.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
It was hard because what people it's not what people forget, but when you're my side of the fence as a retailer, what people don't understand, that's the right word, is that if I have a case of 6, the money that I make to make it all work is in the last figure.
Right.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's where my profit is, and the bit that tickers over the cost is in the last figure. So they've all got to go, otherwise I don't make anything.
Yeah. That's a really good way of explaining it, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because like I said, I don't think people understand that.
No.
They just assume that you've got them all and you must be rolling in money because you've got them to sell.
You've got to pay for them as soon as you get them, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And it would be great if suppliers kind of did odd orders, but you've always got to go to the nearest case. So so what was the other part? Sorry,
about the kind of the where it's blown up, where people have it's the whole thing where people were buying, everyone was getting their own contact in HK and buying direct from there, and how that's kind of turned into quite a big thing.
In regards to Hong Kong, in regards to Hong Kong sellers, they've always been there. Look, this is where they originate from.
Yeah,
they're not treading on my toes. I'm the one that's coming along treading on theirs. Even from 13 years ago.
Yeah.
And it will never change. there's things that are produced by England that Hong Kong people will probably import and want to get it faster than everyone else. I don't know what that is, but it was something. So,
Teabag.
you know, Yorkshire tea.
Yeah, it's all Yorkshire tea. They love it out there.
It's always going to be there. But what I have noticed a big increase of is individuals. And I've got to sort of remain conservative because this is going up to, on public view. But
of course,
what gets my back up the most is it's not an even playing field. All right. And that is because they're either getting it drop shipped direct from source, so nothing passes through them, or they're doing it on the side. Either way, they're not paying import, they're not paying VAT, they're not paying tax. And that kind of gets up my nose a little bit. But I've learned to live with it. It sounds really evil. I just sit and wait for it to fall apart.
Well, that's what we've seen go wrong. Was it 16 Bruce? He was one of them, wasn't he?
Yeah,
that fell apart. There's been a few over the years, hasn't there?
Yeah. There's definitely been a few, and there's people I know that have dabbled in it that have had their fingers burnt, and it just, to me, it always just seems like way too much aggro to be doing that.
Yeah. I think when it first started, it was okay because there was like, say, one guy was going and picking up 5 figures or whatever. They weren't asking a lot of money, so you got really good prices, and then they cottoned onto it, and all of a sudden they were employing their grandma and their little kid, and and they wanted more and more money to do this, to go and get the figures, and then that had to be added on to what you paid, and actually there became very much less difference in the price between what you paid for direct from Hong Kong, and even more so if you wanted day one, you pay twice as much as later batch,
And there's definitely retailers that take the piss with that as well. Like 500 quid Mandos and all of that. It's like,
we know.
I know you're paying someone to line up and hire a van and shit, but don't piss on my shoe and tell me it's raining. Like, don't take the piss. Like, the ones. We all know the ones.
Yeah. So I think. They're extremely good over there. Their culture is making money. They're very good at selling you stuff. The other thing I find as well, which does stop the individuals in their tracks, is when there's an issue, because all of a sudden you've got a £35 to £40 bill just to get that figure back there. And that's like, for some of these people that's skimming off the top, that could be 4 or 5 figures worth of profit just to return one, So, So sorry, I'm really good at droning on.
It's fine.
It's never going to go away. And I guess it all depends on what people want. And I use the term loosely, I seem to have quite a cult following.
I was going to say, do you have a very kind of like solid group of? And I've been for a long time, and they do it because they do get good prices. And I'm not just self-promoting here. I am probably one of the cheapest retailers in the UK. They get the service. I'm a stickler for communication, whether it's negative or good. I don't try and dress it up. I just communicate how it is. And they're the kind of guys that want that decent price, decent service. They're not too fussed about the speed, because I'll never compete with that. No, that's the only thing, isn't it? And that's why, and we're all guilty of it. We've all done it, and we've had success and not success with it, and sometimes it's been good price, sometimes it hasn't, and sometimes you just think, should have just waited. But obviously you've got to. The problem is as well, you've got to commit to these things. As you say now, in 2 years ahead. Because it's or you wait and you risk that it's going to be such a popular figure, say like Mando, that you're then having to pay over retail because people are reselling them. They've bought them, but they're or it might have fallen at the bottom, might have fallen out of it, and you get it for a bargain. But that's the kind of risk you take.
I think the speed you get it also is also less important the longer you collect as well.
Yeah.
Like when I first started collecting, like now with the Best Guard Mando, I would have done anything to get hold of it when I first started collecting. But now I'm fine with waiting. It doesn't bother me as much.
No,
because it isn't like say that again.
So you end up being it for realize you're in it for the long game, and it's not. It's about, just moving stuff around on your shelves and things like that, and not having it on your shelf the moment it's out.
Yeah, you start to really think about what you want and how you want to display it, as opposed to, just whacking on as much as you can.
Yeah.
So it tends to be like, it doesn't matter if it's like 4 months later, it don't really bother me.
No, and we're all quite seasoned collectors. Our collections have evolved very much over the years, and it's, as you say, it's much less about just buying every figure. It's like, all right, that's the piece I need to complete that shelf and things like that, and you can afford to wait a little bit longer because you know that you'll have it, and you can, and your collection's going to hopefully stay with you for quite some time. And
one thing you don't forget, guys. I'm not sure how long all of you have been into it, but when I started hitting the Hot Toys scene, there wasn't the amount to pre-order. You were lucky if you got 3 a year. And the price difference was, if they were still the same price back then with the amount of availability now, we'd all be swimming, wouldn't we, in figures? Literally, they'd be waist deep. So it's kind of evolved, but it is price is a big part to pay, and these young collectors, God bless them, I'll always help where I can, but where they find the money from, with their sort of "my balls are bigger than your" posts on Facebook, I've got these on pre-order, and
but then you see him in like the worst display case ever, and you're thinking, you've got about like £8,000 worth of figures in a £40 display case. Have a word with yourself. And like no furniture, unhoovered carpet, like they're in like a crack den, and you're like,
yeah. And they're like, "Oh, it's not my parents' money, honestly, it's mine." And you're like, okay.
You're like, bullshit.
Yeah, right, right.
Laying a Hot Toys box on your Mickey Mouse bed sheet, right.
And we've talked at length about how it's kind of how we feel that the market's almost priced us out in terms of buying a large amount of new figures, because when you're talking 250, 300 quid for just a basic Hot Toys with not a lot of accessories, 10 years ago they were 150. So we kind of survive a lot more on the third party and customs and used figures and stuff like that.
No, totally understand.
And
I don't know, if I had £1 for every time somebody said, "Oh, you wait, these third-party companies, they'll bring Hot Toys down and it'll make the way Hot Toys think," don't be stupid. It's never gonna happen.
No.
It's never gonna happen. All it would do is drive Hot Toys higher and higher, ironically.
It's a brand that people trust in, and they have the odd slip up where a figure isn't up to quality or it's not good, but you can trust in them pretty much 99% of the time. You know what you're getting quality if you buy a Hot Toys.
They've got the licenses as well, haven't they? They've got
exactly.
They've got Disney right behind them. So still got DC. I'm sure they've got plenty of other ones as well, which they're just sitting on, not using.
Yeah.
Third party's great for like the kind of tertiary characters. The complement. The way I kind of see it is they complement Hot Toys. They're never going to bring them down, and it wouldn't benefit for them to bring them down. Because
they're feeding off of them, aren't they?
Yeah, that's why we're getting stuff like Lucius Fox and Ra's al Ghul and people like that.
With this guy,
that Hot Toys probably won't touch.
And they bring more people into the hobby as well, don't they? Which only benefits Hot Toys again, because people start off with cheap figures and then they work their way up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, couple more questions about the business, Lee, and then we'll just talk to you a little bit about your own sort of personal collection. So Ian's got a good one here. Do you have a sneak peek at your stock? And what's the good, the bad, and the robots got planned for 2021?
Yeah, okay.
I just want to see what I can buy.
So do you mean do I have a sneak peek at my stuff when it comes in?
Yeah,
Kind
that was
of.
yeah. It's just like, if you're not going to keep one, do you like open the box just to have a look and see? Oh, that's a nice figure.
No is the answer because I can't. They got to stay
I
still.
knew you'd say that.
Yeah.
But regardless
I
of
don't
whether
think I'd be too tempted to open one.
regardless of whether I like it or not, I do keep one. I always have done. I keep one of everything sealed.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Everything. Yeah. It's my pension pot.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, not a bad idea actually.
Yeah. There has been times when I've had to do things that I've not wanted to do, like maybe sell one because of a complaint on damage, or I won't go into it, but I had a bit of a phase a few years back where I stupidly swapped suppliers trying to chase a dream, and I got shortchanged. And there's one thing that hopefully you guys would always vouch for me is, bearing in mind the amount of customers I've got and the amount of time I've been trading, there's relatively zero negative press about me or my company on any social media platform.
Oh yeah, I've never heard anyone go, "Oh, Lee's a twat." Like I would never buy from him. Like
no.
I don't know anyone who would. Yeah, you're always, anytime anyone wants a UK retailer, you're always the first name that comes up.
Yeah.
Which is really endearing, but to keep that reputation, I worked tirelessly at it, and when I got shortchanged, typical of all the things I could get shortchanged, it was a Rocket and Groot double pack. But I had to utilize my contacts and get it for retail from abroad, and pay yet again more duty on top, just to keep my customers' orders fulfilled. I don't think anybody would give you bad press about being shortchanged, because the majority of people know how it works. It's not me. I haven't shortchanged myself. I've been shortchanged. But a lot of those guys that got that off me would never know the drama and what was going on in the background. It was so popular when it came out, you know. I made a massive loss on those.
And the thing is, Lee, as well, you're also very active in the community, not just on your own page, but you're a member of the other groups. You're a collector, so you don't hide. You're out there. You know, it certainly wouldn't do you any good to kind of try and be anything but totally above board, and you know, because you expose yourself to
sometimes not too much. Sometimes I have to verbally. I'm talking, guys. You know.
I was going to say you'd be warned for that.
Nobody wants to say that. That was a trick I used 20 years ago. You know. It's long gone. That is.
And it's cold tonight. It wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah. I do have to bite my tongue because of what I do. I have to remain. I'm sorry, it is so hard sometimes, and I don't know. When you get the occasion, we've all seen them on the groups. You get the occasional kid or whatever, don't you? And you just think, I'm gonna have to have a vent here, and I'm never nasty, but I do it in light humour, really.
I'm one for grabbing a screen grab and going straight on the chat, going, "Look at this twat."
There's a lot of it.
That's the best part of Facebook Messenger. Has got it's a good venting tool, isn't it?
Definitely. It's normally something nearly every day we have a laugh.
There was one just before we came on where some guys had just got that new Cyberpunk game, and they were installing it, going, and now we wait, but they had no fucking furniture. They just had a giant TV in a unit. They're all sitting on the floor like they're six, and I was like, "The fuck are you waiting for? Furniture? Like, did you sell your sofa to buy a new TV? What the fuck is wrong?"
DFS said that they could deliver before Christmas. And,
they got fucking shortchanged.
Oh dear. So
the other bit was so have you got any big plans for 2021, or just sort of business as usual? And
Yeah, you two guys, not Steve. Unfortunately, couldn't make it. You're on my last Zoom.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm not plugging, by the way. It's nothing It's nothing regular. It was dreamt up during lockdown, and the one that you guys came on was the first one since the end of the first lockdown because we were all back to work and having busy lives. But yeah, I'm in bed with not literally. Again, that was a 20-year-old.
But an early situation there.
Yeah.
With this sort of developing company, Iconic Studios. Sure, you've seen the teasers.
Yeah.
I've got a few plans, but that is my priority. I'm very excited. There's lots of things that I can't say because I'm under NDA, but watch this space. 2021 is gonna.
Cool.
I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to alter the 1-6-figure world, but I think
do Molecule 8 for God's sake.
No, not at all.
No.
But what we've got coming, I'm very excited by it. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So have you got a vested interest in it as a company, or are you just an official retailer?
Yeah, no invest. There was a lot of rumours that I had investment in Molecule 8, which was absolute poppycock. The only financial interest I had in that was having to refund people's deposits,
including mine.
Yeah, no financial. No, I don't want to go down that road. It's not really for me. I just enjoy the selling. I enjoy the community. I'm more in it for the people than I am the product sometimes. It's crazy. I have met some amazing, really close friends now through the hobby, which I wouldn't meet in pre-social media life because we live so far apart, But if you guys ever go to London Comic Con, we meet on the Saturday in the summer one, and towards the end of the day, so everybody just goes about their business, and we meet up at this boozer just on the outskirts of Hammersmith there, and the hours just fly by. It's just before you know it, it's dark, which in the summertime means it's getting on 11, half 11. You've got people shitting themselves because they've missed trains and buses. And it's once a year, and it's a big long table full of guys like you, me, you two. It's just amazing. It's just the most. I don't know. It's just awesome. It really is. Yeah.
I'll have to get. I do need to get myself to London Comic Con one year. So maybe next year will be the one.
Yeah. I haven't been to one, and I've always said I want to go.
Yeah, but you've got no excuse, Ian, because you're only pretty much a tube ride away, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm on the doorstep.
Yeah, exactly.
On the doorstep. So
I'm not too far. I'm only about an hour out. So
you're an hour out. Yeah.
Away from me, but I'd make the trip down.
Yeah. But that's why we do this, isn't it, Ian? Like we've said, we can chat away for 3 hours because we haven't got any physical friends that are into this stuff.
At all, really. Just anyone.
So we just we just get together and chat, don't we? Talk about the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you talk to people at work about it, and they're just like, "What the fuck? This fat man,
what you buy
weirdo
toys, dolls, yeah."
And I'm like, they're action figures,
high end.
They're collectibles.
Somebody knows what high end means, It's like. Oh, was it got moving eyes? Well, actually, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of them do.
Action man. Well, yes, it is. But it does.
There was one of my wife's mates came round once and she goes, "Oh, are these all your figures from when you were a little boy?" I'm like, "No."
You're like, get out.
You do know the cost of a lot of money because the wife is stood there. You just want to say no, high-end action figures.
If only we had figures like this when we were kids. Mine would have been blown, wouldn't they?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. But
would have kissed my pants and passed out.
So I suppose we've got a question here. What figure? What's been the most popular figure you've sold this year? Is it Mando?
No, going back to what I said earlier, had I got the order right, then without a doubt.
Yeah.
Based on the amount of messages, trust me, I get one or two every day.
Yeah.
A bit more than one or two. If I could have, I would have sold 400 units of that without breaking a sweat. But
Yeah.
got it all wrong, and kicked myself up. So yeah, metaphorically speaking, Mando,
it would have been.
Here's the shocker. Just trying to think now. I did look into this. Yeah, I'm here's the shocker for you guys. All right, I would say it was the Endgame Black Widow.
Really?
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not seen many people posting pictures of those.
No.
No.
I reckon I saw.
You know why? You know why? It's because she died.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That took a minute, didn't it?
Clink, clink, clink.
Yeah, the cogs.
Spoiler alert if you've not seen it, by the way.
Yeah, you might have something there, Steve. Yeah. I suppose people think it's the last, appearance of her. Not that it will be, because she's obviously got her own film, but prequel. Yeah. Okay, that's.
I did not see that coming.
No,
it was that. Crikey. What came out in the beginning of the year? I did have another really big line.
It seems like such a long time ago, doesn't it?
Yeah. And because this year's been so shit, I just can't remember what when we were doing the CW awards and stuff, and it's like stuff that came out in 2020, and I was like, I ain't got a clue. No idea. No idea in the slightest what has come out this year.
No, I know.
It's been such a strange year trying to keep up with it.
Yeah, absolutely, it has. Oh, now what Star Wars? What was the Star Wars figure that came out right at the very beginning of the year? There was a lot of those I sold. Yeah. It was. Nah, it's gone.
I'm looking at my shelf now. Jedi Luke. Deluxe one with the
that was a big
Endor
one.
kit. Yeah,
without a doubt. Yeah.
Cool. And then this slide here, we all know that you have some quite famous celebrity customers. Do you want to talk us through that?
Yeah, so the first one is me and Keith Lemon comparing knob sizes.
Is that hard or flaccid?
Well, he won because that was one of his balls, apparently.
Okay. Or was that just the round? Keith Lemon. Wow. Yeah.
I was watching your unboxing video you were doing with them. That was just hilarious.
Yeah, I've been watching them. They're brilliant. They're really funny.
It also contains the famous saw in the background, doesn't it? Yeah. I still pinch myself, although I'm not kind of starstruck anymore. It's been quite a long time now, and they've become more friends than just guys on the telly that I'm selling stuff to. Keith Lemon is just an absolute legend. On screen and off, he's one of the nicest, funniest people I think I've ever met in my life. Obviously, he's got a talent; so he does it for a living. But to find out that he's massively into his collectibles was just brilliant. And weirdly, he started following me on Instagram. And I said, "How did you hear about me?" I was just interested, and he said, "Oh, Paddy McGuinness told me." What? And I didn't even realise that Paddy McGuinness was following me. I hadn't looked. It just come past me by. Yeah. And then it just kind of it just went from there really. I think those guys that I don't know if you noticed, but the majority of them are all ITV. They all have affiliation with ITV. And it just kind of grew. And I think what happens is you prove your worth, you prove that you keep your mouth shut when you should do, and your confidentiality, and you're not going to act like a little girl every time you speak to them, which inside you're going, And the word spreads, and then they all started coming out of the woodwork. I couldn't believe the amount of collectors there were. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
There's loads over in America as well. I mean, even like Sylvester Stallone, he just launched his own line of 1/6 figures. I mean, that's just bonkers. And then like Keanu Reeves, you've seen him. He's got figures, and there's quite a few of them over. You know, big proper A-listers. 1/6.
Some of the big like rap stars and like sports stars and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen them using the houses, and they've got like, you know, you just hang on a sec, what's that on the shelf? Like,
yeah. Did you see is it Matthew Perry, you know, from Friends? He's a massive Batman collection collector, and he's got like massive rooms in his houses full of stuff, and it's just a very popular thing these days. Even all walks of life.
Yeah, no, it is. I think it's because it's just something different. It's something outside of computer games and DVDs. So Blu-rays are in now, aren't we? In 4K, whatever you call them, discs. And it's just very exciting outside of this digital era we're in. But you soon gain the respect even from a layman because they just are incredibly eye-catching and incredibly detailed, aren't they? You know, we've seen it evolve, haven't we? We've seen what the faces look like on the alien Marines, and you know, Sideshow is still churning shit out that still looks like that, aren't they? You know what I mean?
They're probably the only company that I think probably hasn't really progressed that much. They, you know, when you look at every other company and the leaps and bounds with Sideshow, it's very, very tiny improvements. And the only figure lately that I think they've done any good with isn't really a figure. It's that Baby Yoda, and they didn't even make it. Sorry, Grogu, and they didn't even make it. I think that they're good. They're good retailers, not so good manufacturers. That's kind of where I see it. Unless something's fully in armor and you can't see its face.
It's got a helmet in it, all right.
Yeah, they do aliens okay, but
no, absolutely. Some of the guys there I don't have a great deal to do with. I don't have a lot to do with David Williams. It's very occasional. Gino DeCampo is another
really?
Wow, cool.
Crazy.
Good friend of Keith's.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say for regular contact, Keith is definitely up there. He's become a real friend, and sometimes when I'm on my admin groups on Facebook, one of them will pop on and say, you didn't give me a shout out. I just saw you on Instagram Live with Keith Lemon and stuff. It's got kind of quite regular. It's a bit weird. And then Lee Gill, who played Gary in The Joker, he's a friend of Keith's as well because he's done cameos on Celebrity Juice. I didn't know Lee Gill had been in Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones.
Really?
He's had quite a lot of those kind of dwarf roles, you know. And he's such a cool bloke. He's so ace to speak to. Really, really cool. Yeah. There's
actually quite a few celebrities with fake profiles in the groups. So I've heard, but God knows who it is and who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got it, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's lurking among us.
It's cool. Yeah, it's quite interesting to see who could be out there. You don't know.
Some of them
in a good way.
Brash. Yeah. So, some of them are quite brash. I mean, I thought it was a wind up. I had a request to join 1/6 Anonymous OSA, and it was Raymond van Barneveld, who's
darts player,
champion darts player.
Yeah.
Just bold as brass. It was him. Just to join. It's like, get the hell out of here, you know? Wow. So it's certainly helped business. It certainly helped exposure. But it's that same old thing, isn't it? One day I might just let the handbrake off and roll with it and maybe make this full time. But at the moment, it's just a bit of fun still, you know?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Fascinating.
Flick back. So just a little bit on your own kind of like collecting. We asked a question, what figures impressed you the most from all time? And you kindly sent me some of these photos, so I've just put a few together. So if you want to,
So my apologies, I'm no photographer. The Neo, which looks like a stunning photo, is the only one that isn't mine, as you can tell. There's a selection. I couldn't name one.
Mhm.
The Neo is from Short Round on Sideshow Freaks.
Right. Yeah.
I fell in love and I saved for it because it was bizarrely, us collectors will spend $300 on a jacket for a figure.
Yeah. But not for yourself.
I wouldn't spend 300 quid on a suit. Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly. Exactly.
I might do if it came with a tie, but
I'm the same. I'm like, nope, not buying anything for me. But
I'm wearing 20-year-old t-shirts.
So there's still plenty of life in them. I don't need new.
But they're vintage now, surely.
Just an impressive bit of kit. I won't go into how much it cost me. It's one of the most biggest single purchases I've ever done. I mini-me Mad Max, the DX, so both head sculpts. That just blows my mind. It really
I love it as well. It's my favourite figure of the ones you've ever seen you've had.
Yeah,
so
thank
nice.
you. Yeah, it really is. And never be done again quite like that unless it's going to be recast by someone. But just everything about it. Yeah, it's going to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, typical mini-me, slight tone differences between the face and the body. The hands are magnetic, which was a nice touch straight onto the wrist.
Oh, wow.
The weathering's just spot on. The quality feels good, and it just captures him to me. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely brilliant. Quarter scale, the Dark Knight, my favourite quarter scale. I think the representation was done far better than the DX12 or the one before it. Loads of accessories, lovely stand with the iron beam girder, whatever you want to call it. And a nice little touch with the kind of scarecrow mask, Joker bank robber mask. It just made it. And it posed and kind of maneuvered really easily. Just had a nice feel about it.
Yeah.
And the suit, sometimes guys, when you get these sort of rubbery suits out and you think, I can just bloody tell I'm going to have issues with this in a couple of years, You just feel it, can't you? It's really hard to explain. But that, I just knew there ain't going to be no problems with this. It's just it's fantastic. Really, really good.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You just get out and go, that's not going to last me very long. Or if I have that in anything other than a stupid museum pose, it's just going to turn to dust. The bat suits tend to be those, like the Bale bat suits tend to, you pick them out and go, that's not going to be a problem.
Really good, really good. Just blown away. For the money when it came out, it was just probably one of the best priced figures ever, I think.
Yeah.
Just, again, my opinion. Tarkin, come on, look at that head sculpt.
It's a great sculpt, isn't it?
I know. I want one, but as I said before, I won't pay what they're going for. So my only hope is that they bring out a Rogue One version eventually, which will be exactly the same figure, but half the price of what it goes for on the secondary market.
There'll be a knockoff at some point.
Yeah, they just got it, haven't they? Even the pigmentation in the skin is just, it's almost like they analysed where his freckles were. It's
down to the hand. Hand, iconic pose, isn't it?
It blew me away. I have got the problem with mine. I noticed recently the magnet on the lapel here is completely come away. And I've had a few numpties have put liquid glue on to put it back, and all it's done is just gone straight through the fabric. And
So I used Gorilla Glue on mine, the gel.
Yeah, that's what I use that.
And it was perfect because I've got the Rocco sculpt and stuff, because I put one together, and as soon as Craig was parting one out, I was like, I want the boots, I want the belt, I want the top, I want the bottom. So raided all the clothes, I want the cylinders. I pretty much bought like 90% of the figure, But yeah, mine started to do that, and a little drop of Gorilla Glue sorted it out straight away.
That is the best glue for figures.
It's amazing.
You've got to get the gel, like you say, but it is fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sticks like shit to a blanket and doesn't bleed or soak through anything. It just stays where you put it.
Yeah, good stuff, isn't it? Yeah.
And you got Robocop, who I love. Robocop. It's one of my favourite figures. I think, I've got one. Probably in my top 10.
Where I wish I could put one, but I was a bell end and sold it.
It's still in my top 10 of hot toys of all time.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Just classic. I've had it 3 times, and to you guys, I think if you do it 3 times, it qualifies as a top figure. You know.
Yeah.
I know a few have had a few problems with the rot, kind of in the O-ring and stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing like a rotten O-ring.
Oh.
No, exactly. Sorry, I've got distracted there. My lovely assistant just brought me up a fresh beer. Bless her. She's got. Yeah. So I'll go give her a backhand later.
You're gonna have the empty bottle thrown at you in a minute.
I am. Yeah, right across the head.
Bounce off his head.
Split my nut in two, she will.
Yeah.
It was a revelation, wasn't it, when it came out? I mean, die-cast was relatively new. They'd got everything right in the right places to give it that posability. Everybody wanted that gun, that line of sight straight, not kind of half cock like we've had to do with some crappy wrist paint in the past. And then, what a nice little touch, the sound remote. What a touch! Yeah.
Even the leg opening was to put the gun in, and
everything about
it's
it.
It's just shrink ray. It's amazing. I think the only thing that they should have done is give you a proper gun holding pistol hand, because it's quite tricky to get that hand to hold that gun, isn't it? But a lovely figure. And then I got the battle damage. I bought Murphy from you, didn't I? And I've got Ed 209 as well. And
that unmasked sculpt is fantastic.
That's one of the best. Yeah,
best ever, I'd say.
And the thing is, if you get the battle damaged and you've got the regular, you can really mix and match between the two, and really come up with some really good stuff. Like you can put, because I know people take the battle damaged visor off of this one and put it with the battle damaged. With the battle damage ones, that's completely fucked. Then they take the head off of that and put it on this one and stick it in the chair, and it's fantastic.
But it's a great line. That all good,
really good and very popular still. The only fault for me was the base. You know, we know it's prone to scratching. They could have used hardened lacquer rather than that soft crap they put on it. And maybe a little bit too intricate, but Enter Bay's electronic leg opening is just the bollocks of it, really. You know, whether you could do that on one set, that is tiny wiring. You know, very delicate. You know, but it would have been brilliant. But definitely up there in one of my favourites. And lastly, just because of my personal love is Boba Fett. Yeah.
It's the Hot Toys Empire version,
Empire version.
The OG Mando.
Yeah.
So again,
the original Mando.
The original Mando.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. I never got my head around what the fascination was if you take him out of the original films, because his screen time was pretty much nothing. He had a cool kit. You know, the Slave One was mega, wasn't it? It was like, whoa, look at that.
He did a lot of standing around, and then got hit in the back and fucked off and died. But I couldn't understand, because I was like, he doesn't do anything, but he's just so cool.
It just had something about it, didn't it? It was that kind of like the promise of like other adventures and what he'd been through and where he'd come from and stuff that you never knew, but he just had that kind of aura about him. You thought he's a cool guy.
Yeah, the costume's so iconic.
Yeah,
by far one of the best costume designs ever.
I think it's because there's no analysing when you're a kid, is there? You don't analyse things like we do as adults now. If you analyse Boba Fett as a bounty hunter, if that's how bad you are to be good, then maybe a career as a hitman may be on my list, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I own that figure. I think it's exceptional. Did you have the Sideshow one before, Lee? The SB one?
Still got it. And I've also got the Medicom. I've got the... Yeah, I've got them all. Yeah.
So how do you find it compares to them? Because I thought it was night and day. A lot of people still say they prefer the Sideshow, but I don't know. I had the two side by side, and for me, the Hot Toys one was won it hands down.
Yeah, if I had to weigh it up, Sideshow I think had better ratios, but the colouring and the quality on Hot Toys is a lot better.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
I actually one, but I sold it. I've got the 40th anniversary Hot Toys one on order now, so I had to have it back in.
Yeah,
Great figure. Absolutely. I don't know what it is about Sideshow material as well. You know, how is it humanly possible to make material thin, like thinner?
Yeah.
It's just single layer. I mean, it's just.
They tend to fuck that up quite a bit.
That's that's one of many. But yeah, that's what I kind of came up with relatively quickly.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a good selection. And then also we talked about custom figures, because we're quite big into our custom figures. And so if you want to take us I got a few pictures you sent me of your customs. So if you want to just have a few words on.
Oh, do you know what? This was kind of a little bit of an experiment. I don't know if you're privileged to know his handle's Crimson Bob or Robert Crimson. You ever come across him?
Heard of him, yeah.
Yeah, the name rings a bell.
Yeah. He's quite active on Sideshow Freaks, but I can't remember his handle, so I'm not very active on there anymore. He's just incredible talent. He just makes really good things out of really cheap stuff, you know. So I've got to remember this now. The Neo. What was the Neo?
Is that Kumlik? Is it Kumlik?
Kumlik. No, it wasn't. The jacket was for something else, but he, like I say, he's just got these eye for parts. Let me run you through Smith. Smith is brilliant. Smith is on the back then they were like 12 quid bodies, okay, the generic bodies. ZY suits, which I think back then were about £14, and if you bought 5, which I did, I bought 5, it went down to a tenner. The heads are all recasts of
Red Skull.
Thank you, Red Skull. Yeah,
right.
And painted by Crimson Bob. The shades he made out of paper clips and takeaway containers.
That's some skill, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, the black takeaway containers. Yeah?
He's watched a lot of Blue Peter as a kid, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And then the stand was a prototype which I paid peanuts for by a guy called Barry McRae, who's sadly he's not very active on the groups anymore. But he just kind of developed this stand, and we never finished it. You know, it was supposed to be sort of decorated and graphics and stuff like that. But yeah, he just kind of popped together all these different kind of flight stands, and they just inserted into the holes, and I just thought, I could do something with that. And yeah, I think I did that in 12 years ago.
Wow.
It looks good. I really like it.
Cool. Yeah.
It's oh, sorry, my little one going to bed. Yeah. Wow. These two. So they're both from Crimson Bob. He did casts of the legend. I was never a fan of the film, but the figure, just if you see it in the flesh, it's got so much impact because
it's a weird film, but it's got some brilliant character designs in it, and looks amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a few issues making it, like it can't stand on its own feet because they're only little hoops. The body's incredibly heavy. and the head is incredibly front heavy.
Yeah, it's got some horns on him. Hasn't he?
Yeah. Ergonomically, it's not designed very well.
Not at all. And I said to him one day, I said, you can see, I know I'm trying to point on my screen here, but you know the gems running down his shoulders and down his pants. I said, you know, where the hell did you find those? And he said, Hobbycraft. Why can't I go on Hobbycraft and have an interesting trip? You know what I mean? I think I could make some shit out of that glitter.
Yeah. It's a treasure trove, Hobbycraft, and places like that.
I've seen people buy the tiny little plastic boxes and make the meth crates for Heisenberg and Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah,
and they buy the little blue crystals from Hobbycraft as well. And you can just make miniature meth crates.
Yeah, they look brilliant.
Yeah, it's very clever. I've always admired him for his eye. He kind of made that for me, and did the same for Caesar. He's never claimed to be a painter, but please be brutally honest, I think he's done a cracking job there.
Yeah,
he's done up really well.
You're probably going to tell me it's made out of a Barbie or something, aren't you?
Yeah. It's all bottle tops.
Put hair on a Barbie.
The tube you get in the middle of your toilet roll.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. It really does.
Yeah, it does. It looks really good.
I think he had a few issues with the suit because he cuts the suit all in one, and then it kind of threads over the body, and then it has to be stitched down the back. And but he's his own critic. I think it's bloody brilliant. And
so, where's the head sculpt from, Lee?
I think that was just a. Did he do that one? Because he does do a few sculpts. I think he might have done his own. Yeah, because if you look at the others that are for sale, it's different. It is different.
Okay. Yeah, that's very cool.
That angle shot may not be the best. It does look very spot on in real life. Yeah. The other customs. Okay, so oh crikey, it's going back now, isn't it? Who did the Rick version 1 suit? He did a massive one of them on Sideshow Freaks. Oh, God, it's gone.
I think I know who you mean, but I can't remember the name.
You think how old that figure is now?
Yeah, because you couldn't. Because I think when The Walking Dead came out, suddenly the whole world and his wife was making Ricks and every version of it possible, and there were custom suits of like the sheriff suit, and then if I've seen one plaited shirt now, I've seen 1,000. It proper. I think a few years ago it was like Walking Dead fever. You couldn't move for Walking Dead figures and bashed in Glen heads and all of that, could you?
No, absolutely. There's some pieces that I don't display anymore, but for sentimental value, because I've got so much respect for artists. That head sculpt was painted by Elvis, 76.
Yeah.
Wow.
That will never leave me. I can't. Sorry, guys, I can't remember the outfit. The body's the typical David Bruce Banner. The Dexter was put together for me by Pete the Painter, Bristol. Again, in hand, it's one of the most realistic 1/6 figures I've ever owned. It's phenomenal. It really is.
It looks really good.
Yeah, I think that's a Trevor Grove sculpt version 2. The body was all modified by Pete, so he just got it completely spot on. Amazing. Really pleased with that one. And then another one of my favourite all times is the Joker. That's kind of a kit bash, really. It's Mom Toys suit, which I found always far better fitting than Hot Toys, although it's the quality isn't as good. The head sculpt is a Greg version 2, painted and haired by Mark Simpson.
Love Mark.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I've got a lot of stuff done by Mark. But that looks amazing.
It's
the Greg sculpt, brilliant.
To me, it's one of the most accurate I've ever seen. I know it's a ballsy thing to say, but
There's so many of them, aren't there? So many people have had a go
So
at
many,
the Ledger Joker, but
Yeah.
that to me looks like that. The one with the is that the same? They're two different sculpts, or the same figure?
It's the same figure, just with the hair messed about with a little bit.
Yeah, so I love the more messed up hair. That looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's see what Hot Toys come out with on the DX20. That's probably going to be a Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on it, Steve? Because you're a massive DC. I'd like an honest opinion from you. Do you think there's anything that's kind of gone wrong with it, or
on your one?
Yeah.
No, I think the Craig sculpt's always been a solid one, to be honest. You can't go wrong with Mark's painting hair in either. I've got Mark stuff myself as well, like Pete. No disrespect to Ian, but
yeah,
Mark's always done a really top job. No, I think you can't go wrong with the Craig sculpts. There's been other ones. You could pay $3-4 grand for an Adam Goo, but I don't rate that. I think it's way overpriced for what it is. Dario does really nice work on the Craig sculpts as well. The problem with Ledger Jokers is there's so many. It's been done to death, hasn't it? And people have different opinions on which one they like and all that. But it's always going to be a solid sculpt, and when you're going for the Craig ones.
Yeah.
It's always the jackets for me. If I could find I think the Def Toys set that's just come out. Daft Toys.
That's what I've got.
Their jacket looks really good.
Yeah, it is. It's nice.
Because the one I've got, I can't remember. I think it's the Pop Toys clothing on it, and the jacket just looks as though it's a fucking bathrobe, like the Hot Toys one. So it's one of the things I've been meaning to get an upgrade, but I haven't bothered yet. But yeah, it's the jackets on them that fucking do me.
Yeah. And you say bathrobe, I couldn't find a picture of it, but another one I wanted to stick on one of my all-time favourites, and I know it got a lot of slack, was Brad Pitt Blitzway Fight Club.
I don't mind that. I don't know what people's problem with it. I think the paint on it's not great. Because it's really brown from what I remember. But the actual sculpt itself, when I saw a few that have been repainted, they look really, really good.
I saw Jacob Ramia did repainted with that sculpt, and oh my god, you could have sworn it was Brad Pitt. Actual stud of him,
didn't it? Yeah.
And the outfit and everything was really good on that.
And that's the thing with a lot of factory paintwork is it just doesn't do the sculpt justice that's underneath. There's some sculpts that people absolutely slag off as being terrible, but once they're repainted, they look really good.
And Trevor Grove, like with the Dexter, Trevor Grove has always smashed it. His sculpts are brilliant, but he's always been let down by Sideshow paint. But he's like Luke and Hands and Indy and stuff. They're really good sculpts, and quite a long time ago, some of them. But it's always, I think, once you get those repainted, they can look stunning. The issue with a lot of them, the older ones, is they're too big. You can't get around that, but painted up, they can look really good. Yeah,
well, I think that Dexter head he did there is the best ever. Again, sorry that I know it's mine, and I'm gonna sort of say it, but I didn't buy it lightly. I'd shop around, wait. I just go for what I think looks. And again, it's just my opinion, but I think that just captures him brilliant.
That's bang on.
It's the eyes on it. It's really good.
That expression.
So that's kind of finished. We've finished the kind of the interview bit. That's been brilliant. I really enjoyed that, and we're kind of going to go through some of our sort of favourite things and worst things from the year. So if you want to stick around for a bit, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, I can for a little bit. Yeah,
cool.
That'd be really nice. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem. So we thought we'd just put together 3 or 4 of our sort of favourite things we bought this year. So these are mine. So it's the that's on the Indies, the Iris clothing set. Ian's also got this on his. That came out January, I think, wasn't it, Ian? Feb, quite an early one in the year. And I managed to bag 3 sets. I sold one to Ian, sold one off to someone else to kind of help pay for my one.
I was adamant I wasn't going to.
Yeah, and then you saw it and you were like, I've got to have it. the whip is a Joe Strain, so that's a real leather 1/6 whip made exactly like the real Raiders whip. He actually made some of the whips for Crystal Skull. That thing is an absolute. It's a work of art, and that's as much as a new Hot Toys figure. But it's one of those things I just had to have for my kind of like my ultimate indie. I got one for the quarter scale, the premium format as well. Amazing. That's a shrunk down MJ Choi sculpt there with an Indigo V3 hat. And I'm really pleased. That's kind of like my number one indie figure amongst the 12 of indies that I have.
12.
I have, yeah. So if I drop down to the middle, then also then there was a guy called Spencer. I forget the guy's name is Stephen somebody. He's been in the business quite a long time doing custom figures, and someone started up a run for a Mola Ram, and I'd followed it all the way through, and I was going to get one, and then I don't know. Once it all got priced out, I was kind of like, oh, do you know what? I'll skip it. And then one of the guys got one and posted it on the boards, and then Dave put it in our chat, didn't he, Ian? And he's like, "Oh, you getting one, Pete?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck, man, I've got to have one." I mean, I've got, this massive indie collection. How could I not have the Mola Ram in there? So I went for it. I sold a couple of figures and went for it. And it's a stunning piece.
It is amazing.
Absolutely brilliant, and it just works right in the middle of that shelf there. So yeah, I absolutely love that. That's one of the best customs I've picked up in a while. Then if I come around to the Tauntaun, I literally got this last week. It's a repainted Hasbro Tauntaun. It's a guy, Russell Childs, on the groups. He finally bought one of the sideshow ones. He was getting rid of this for 110 quid, and it already had like the blanket on it, and it was obviously a full repaint and everything. And to my eyes, I think it looks better than the sideshow one.
I wonder who'd got that. Was it you, Pete? Was it?
Yeah. Particularly head sculpt,
isn't it?
It's fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. And I added some extra kind of fur for the bits that go under the. I thought about whether to replace the saddle with leather, but it's a bit too tricky, so I kind of just repainted it a bit.
Looks really good.
Yeah, and I had the hand anyway, and so that was a real surprise, kind of, spur of the moment buy. But I absolutely love it. It's one of my favourite pieces now.
Some of the old 12-inch Hasbro stuff is really good, really well done.
Yeah.
So, and even the price of that shot up because there's like IG units and stuff I had my eye on because I thought I could probably do something with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the older stuff's worth keeping an eye out for. Yeah,
definitely. So that was a real surprise, and I love that. And the middle piece, that's obviously my Lord of the Rings Mines of Moria diorama that I had made. So the base and the altar were made by Sammy Maxwell, who is absolutely fantastic diorama maker. He mostly does 1/12 scale stuff, but his work's amazing. And he was the first person I thought of when I wanted to have that base made. So he made that for me. And then our friend of the show, Dean Gladwell, did the backdrop, and the side pieces. And I just absolutely love it. It's something I've dreamt about doing ever since I got the fellowship. And yeah, I just absolutely, that's my favorite scene in the movies. And I just love that shelf. It just looks amazing.
It's very impressive, Pete.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's a nice setup. I take it that means you're in the brown coat camp for Han, not the blue coat camp.
Well, yeah. I mean, they were a lot easier to get hold of, the brown coat ones. You don't see the blue coat ones very much. And obviously it was brown. And the nostalgic bit of you thinks, well, the figure was always blue. But yeah, I think I'd have been happy with either, I think, to be honest. But the brown one is obviously the non-exclusive, and they were going quite cheap and they're not now. They're expensive now, but you know, I picked him up quite cheap. So and I did a few mods, and that's a Ian won't be a fan, but that's a Janix.
I'm a big fan of the Janix cavemen Star Wars line.
You don't like them, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I'm a big fan of Janix work.
Your boss side.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something really funny, guys. Actually, during the first lockdown, talking about the ease of finding the brown coat solo.
Yeah.
I got a couple of sort of mates, if you like, or contacts worldwide, I guess, in a lot of countries. And I got tipped off in the Far East, the Middle East. Some comic book shop was selling an entire case of brown jacket Han Solos.
All right. Wow.
Which is, I don't know if you saw them, guys, on the Star Wars group, which is why I kept having them for sale.
No, I didn't see them.
Yeah. Like it was mental. It's just like, really? How old are they? And it was like they were sealed, sealed in this case.
Wow.
Yeah, phenomenal. I just wish that he found a case of Tauntauns.
yeah, definitely. So that was my for the yen. Steve, take us through your choices.
Yeah, these are my three. I've bought quite a lot of figures this year. I've forgotten more than I can remember, to be honest, because I've sold quite a few on. But the three that are definitely not going anywhere are, from left to right, the Rambo figure, which I think caught everyone by surprise.
Yeah,
this is one of those cases where the prototype looked pretty good, and everyone was like, "Yeah, that looks decent." So I instantly ordered it because it was a still A figure.
I must admit, Steve, I've never seen him look so camp.
No, these aren't Steve's. These are just photos I found online, by the way, not Steve's, Steve's pictures.
Ooh, Rambo!
But to be fair, it turned out to be a great figure. I did actually have still on my desk here. I need to sell it or break it up into parts, but I had a kit bash version. But when this came up, I was like, I've got to have that. As you all know, I'm a massive Arnie and Stallone fan, so slowly building up the collection of both. This is one that we won't leave aside. John Matrix. I didn't get this figure ages ago when I should have done when it was like 170 quid on the groups all day long. Now it's 250 minimum. I managed to get one off eBay for about 200 quid. But it wasn't even that; it was less than that actually. By the time I'd used discount vouchers and stuff, so it was. It's impossible to get one for that kind of money now. So and again, it's just another one to bolster my Arnie collection that's growing. And then the other one is that the DLX Optimus Prime by 30. It's just amazing in hand. It's totally die cast. It's very heavy. It's only 11.5 inches tall. It's not that big, but it's just pure quality. It's very, very nice figure.
11.5 inches is still eye-watering.
Yeah.
Isn't it just? I keep going back and forth on getting a Bumblebee, but I wish Megatron had been in that movie because that would have been a great figure if they'd done a movie version of Megatron. But I'm sure if they do, I'm sure they're going to do a sequel, and I'm sure 30 will do a Megatron figure at some point. So I'll absolutely be getting that. So yeah, I mean, I've bought all this stuff this year, but those are the three that really leap out at me. They're all great figures, really.
Good choice. Yeah.
And these were yours, Lee?
Oh yeah. Predominantly Star Wars. Sorry.
That's all right. You're in the right place for Star Wars.
Yeah. Look, I can't help it. They've just chucked some amazing stuff out, and the Mandalorian line so far has just not disappointed. Geez, I've got my Death Troopers here in a couple of days. I can't wait to get that open.
Cool.
It's brilliant. Yeah. So Mando line. How many different ways can you make a stormtrooper? I guess that's the moral of the story.
We don't.
Something about the Remnant, the way it poses, it's just quite a little different to the Jedi one. Do you know what? I never even sold them retail. I didn't think it would take off, and Another
Okay.
bad
That's
business
interesting.
decision. But there
See,
you go.
I was the same. Well, I slagged it off all day long when they first announced it. I was like,
I
"What is
remember,
this
yeah.
shit?" Yeah, and then I started seeing them in people's collection. I'm like, "Oh, actually,
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Humble
But-
pie.
yeah, yeah, big time."
Yeah, really, really cool. The Mandalorian. Well, I'm sure you guys have covered that enough in your shows.
Oh yeah,
I got the blurb done by Marcus Schultz. I think his surname's pronounced.
So good.
yeah, it looks
I love
really,
that.
really good.
Yeah. I although I'm quite a confident business person, I'm not a confident person sort of showing other people my stuff because
Mhm.
I can't really photograph very well. I don't have the equipment. I put that on 16 Republic and it went massive. Really did. One of
I
the
used to put things on 16 Republic. I don't anymore.
oh,
I got booted for no reason. I'm like, what?
you're joking? Oh my god! Right. So one comment which was really endearing for that photo was this weekend you own the internet, buddy. It was lovely. Yeah. And all it was just a quick shot on my desk, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are the best ones.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. The Han and Luke, they've obviously been around a while. I've had Luke a few times and sold him. He's another one. He's not going anywhere this time. Han, I've never owned, and I acquired it only a month ago, 3 weeks ago. They're great. Sorry, but they're just the magic from the movies and everything. That's what it's about for me. And yeah, the unsung heroes, the Damn Toys AC line. Fuck it, I'll tell you what. Have you? Probably doesn't interest you guys that line, but have you seen?
I had the Altair. Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. The tailoring was brilliant. They thought it through. So all the knives and stuff they weren't rigid. So when you put them in, they weren't going to snap. But when you took them out, they weren't like all floppy and horrible. Like it was really good. I was really, really impressed with it.
I'm not, excuse me. I'm not a big fan of the film, which is what Aguilar was in. But I can't fault the craftsmanship in that jacket and hood is just phenomenal. He's got his missing digit. The accessories are really good, and I've used the base behind for countless photo shots because it's really good. The background was just me messing about. So the stars are really easy to add, but you can see the turrets, the castle behind. I actually drew that on my iPhone with my finger. You're just being kind, aren't you? You're just being kind.
Nice. I like that.
Just a little touch there. Yeah.
Yeah, you did all right there, Lee. I think you've done pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't done well this year. I've literally because of COVID has kicked my ass. I was in the unique position where I wasn't furloughed, but because I work at an airport, we were not 20%. So all my figure budget just went completely out the fucking window. So I've got stuff pre-COVID, and then towards the end where I've gone back to working full time. But I haven't picked a great deal up at all this year, other than really a few bits and pieces. But the main kind of headline bits for me were the Iris set. Well, I really wasn't gonna do it. I was like, no, because Pete showed it to me, and I was like, nope, I'm fine with my indie. I'm not spending that amount on Dolly clothes. I don't spend that on myself. Nope. And then Pete got them, put it on his indie, and I was like, so Pete, we need to talk. How much do you want?
Yeah.
So I had that off of Pete, and it is by far the best clothing set I've had for anything. It is just
amazing.
Fantastic. The tailoring's brilliant. The jacket's fantastic. My only gripe is the magnets aren't done very well. So they
had
tend
problems
to
with yours, didn't you? And mine have been fine. I think you got unlucky, but
mine. So the magnet on the on the whip clip. Say that 3 times fast. Whip clip.
Whip clip.
Had just instantly come off, and I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" And I think, whereas my other, like my M. Fisher stuff, that's the magnets underneath the piece of leather, where this is just the magnets stuck on.
Yeah.
So eventually, it's going to go like the DX Luke holsters, where it just it comes off. But I'll have to cross that bridge. I've managed to fix it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that. And then Dan did us an indie background for my indie stuff, which was cool. And then I handmade the little stones. Yeah. So what I started to do was, while I was on Zoom calls, was I had some of the oven bake clay, and I'd be in a meeting and you'd never see my hands because I'd always be tinkering with something. So I started to make the stones. So I do them while I'm in meetings and stuff. And I'm meant to be paying attention, but I really wasn't. And I was doing this, I stack them on the side, then go pop them in the oven for 10 minutes. So I've got literally like probably about 20 or 30 of these stones just lined up on the side that I was like, yeah, at some point I'll paint them and I'll put them on my page and I'll see if anyone wants any. But I just haven't got around to it yet. And then the other big one for me was Mando. I really wasn't going to buy it. Didn't want to at all. It released in Hong Kong. I saw all the photos and I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to buy it. At that point it was pretty much sold out everywhere, and I was like, right, so have a look on some of these shithole fucking pages that are just gonna rape me. And I had a look. Now, not yours. I don't think you had any. I had a look on your website. You didn't have any. No, I'm thinking of well, the thing is, if he was dead, it would have been a fortune, that website. I went up there and I was like, nah, fuck off, I'm not paying that. And I had a look around and I looked on your site and I don't think you had any, and everything was sold out. And I was like, oh, fuck's sake, I went, all right, I'll give Sideshow a go. I'll give them a whirl. Like, what's the worst that can happen? I'll get charged import fee, but fine, whatever. I'm complaining about having to pay tax. Like, how much of a cunt am I? So I was like, right, I'll do it. And I think I pre-ordered it, and then like within 2 weeks they were like, yeah, you can have it now. It's coming out. So I did it, and I think with import it was $260, which was way under what I would have been stung for if I'd gone the direct to HK route. And then weathered it up, stuck a new body on it, the Python. And I feel bad talking about this because Pete still hasn't got his yet.
No.
I've actually got mine, but I put it away for Christmas as a Christmas present to myself.
Yeah, and plus you were being kind. You didn't want to rub it in with Pete.
No.
So, yeah. So, yeah.
But I have got it.
Sorry?
How long's yours been, mate?
8 weeks now.
Wow.
Yep.
We had a little competition going on because I ordered a crate Luke, and it took about 3 weeks, and the tracking was like, yeah, it's been dispatched, and it spent about 3 weeks just either on a boat or they were just doing laps over the Atlantic. Like must have been in the air for fucking ages until it dropped. And I thought I had the figure that was the longest being shipped. Yeah. And then Pete's coming like a fucking wrecking ball with Mando.
I think mine's having a nice little holiday in Felixstowe somewhere.
Yeah, there's a lot in the same boat though. Loads of people are waiting on Mando.
It's weird. It seems that everything that went out of HK on the 23rd of October has just gone into limbo at the moment.
Yeah.
There's something about that date. That whole crate is just kind of like underneath all the others.
They went around the world the other way for a change and
something.
That's what it was.
Something weird went on, and it's just it's just funny. And then like everyone's got them, and I'm like, you know what? As soon as I get it, I'm just going to sell it because I just can't be bothered anymore. I just kind of put a sour taste, and I had all these mods to do, and Ian's done them all now, so it's kind of got it out of my system. So it's quite a bit like, so if you're saying you can't get hold of any, if anyone wants one, there'll be one up for sale. Hopefully, sometime before the end of the year. Yeah.
By the time Series 3 drops, Peter having
Series
1 Mando.
And what's annoying is you think, well, the prices were pretty solid, and then obviously now the second one's out, which I don't think will affect it too much because this is a very unique look, and we're not going to see this again, and people are always going to want the first release. So I'm not too worried. But it's just like I've not even got the first one yet, and the fucking second one's people are going, yeah, look what I got today. Oh, you fucking bastards. So yeah, it's been a bit of an odd one, and you'll see that actually worst collecting purchases bought this year, Mandalorian, just because he hasn't fucking turned up yet. Nothing against the figure, but yeah, and this is the thing where obviously, like as Lee was saying, you're taking a personal risk. You know, you do this on bulk, Lee, and I've seen a lot of your posts, and you've facing the same delays that individuals are and everything, and there's not a lot you can do about it. But obviously, you know, and we've all got, if you pay for PayPal, you've got the protection, but it's just an agonizing wait. And obviously they say, oh, you know, you've got to wait at least 8 weeks before it's even considered lost or even late. So a lesson learned, you know, and I think if you are ordering from abroad, it probably does pay to pay the extra for the expedited shipping.
On top of the expedited prices.
Yeah, I know.
It's a risk you take, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, it's the first time I've had an issue like this, and I suppose, you know, it's been a very, very strange year. Anyway, so no, he'll turn up, and I say I'm probably going to sell him, but you never know. We shall see. So anyway, I didn't buy anything bad this year. I only put that on as a joke. I don't think I bought anything bad. What have you got there, Steve?
Well, I'll have to go back to last year first. So I think it was last year I bought the Star Race Vincent Vega, which is such a massive letdown. The sculpt is horrendous. So when this was announced, I was like, well, I didn't want this version with, you know, I wanted where his hair's like down, not over to one side, because. But I thought I need a better sculpt from the Star Race one, so I ordered this. Maybe thinking of keeping it. It turned up, and oh my god, it is the worst fitting suit I've ever seen of any figure in my entire life. I know Redman is cheap crap, but this is a far better sculpt than the other one. So because it comes with 2 sculpts, I literally took the sculpt out that I wanted with his eyes looking straight ahead. Put the rest of it back on eBay and sent it straight back out the door. I'm going to get the sculpt rehaired, so I've got the proper version. I can stick it on the Star Race, but finally couldn't fight that wrong. But oh my god, it's definitely the worst figure I bought this year in terms of quality. It's just horrendous. I've seen a few people get it and post pictures, and if you see one, the suit is abysmal.
It looks terrible enough there. I mean, that shirt looks like it's about 6 sizes too big for him.
Oh yeah, and in real life, it's even bigger. It's like you know the really old suits you used to get on like figures from 10 years ago, and they do not fit anywhere near like what. Well, it's like they put one of those suits on a modern figure. Shocking, just really shocking. I'll get the Vincent Vega figure right one of these days.
And Lee, you said you struggled to think of anything bad that you bought, but you popped this one in.
Yeah. Look, you know what defines a bad figure? You've got to take into account what it's cost you. I've even got to take into account what it's cost me. You know, when I get it trade. So, the Toys Works Messiah. It wasn't terrible. The glasses were just absolute rubbish. They were just so flimsy and horrible. Jacket fit okay, pretty floppy body. You know, this day and age, everything should be tighter joints and things like that. They didn't even provide hands that held the size. It was just like semi-open hands. So that's got to be the clanger for me. Really disappointed. But doesn't matter. I've still got my custom one.
Looks awesome. Yeah.
So I had I really wanted a child or Grogu to go with my Mando, and I really wanted the Hallmark one. Fortunately, I couldn't find the fucker anywhere. And when I went on Amazon, someone was selling them. Now they didn't say Hallmark, but they had a picture of the Hallmark one, and I was like, "You're all right. I'll give it a punt. It's 15 quid. Fuck it. I'll see what happens." This fucker turned up, and it was horrendous. It's fucking awful. And when I went back on Amazon, they swapped the picture over to this one, and I was like, "You cheeky cunt."
What I love about it is it's so shit you couldn't even bother to take the polystyrene out of his ear before you took the photo.
I literally took it out and I sat in my kitchen and went, "What the fuck is this shit?" Put it back in the box. It didn't even come in a box. It was just 2 bits of polystyrene. Someone had fucking jammed it in. Horrendous. So I emailed and went, "You cheeky bastards. This isn't what I ordered." Showed them the screen grab of what I ordered. And I waited a couple of days. And in the meantime, my boy had seen it and he was like, "Oh, I really like that." And I was like, "You're no son of mine. What the fuck do you want about?" Like, that's fucking horrendous.
It was an abomination.
And then I said to him, "Look, if they don't get back to me or they're going to fuck about, you can have it." Like, because he's got his own. We have what we call in our house the decoy Christmas tree. So my missus does the main Christmas tree, and he has the smaller Christmas tree that he gets to decorate. And what I actually realised was it's not a decoy tree just for him; it's for me as well. I'm not allowed input on the main one, but we can fuck around with the little one. So that's why it's got like a leg, like one of the big Lego Boba Fett's in and stuff like that. And my boy Alfie goes, "We can put that in our tree." And I was like, "All right. Well, if they don't get back or they fuck about, then you can have it." Like, fine. And then they came back and they were like, "Oh, we're very sorry about this. We'd like to offer you a 10% discount." And I was like, "I've got to respect the bollocks on you. I really have, for going, well, I'll tell you what, it's completely not what we sold you, but you can have £1.34 back." And I was like, "Do you know what? Just fuck off. Like, I don't even want to deal with that." Like, yeah, I was like, "Alfie, just take it and get it out of sight. I'm not bothered." So I got my £1.35 back off of it, which wasn't too bad. But yeah, it's fucking.
I hope you've repainted it for him.
No, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to touch it. It's just take it and fucking do whatever you want with it. Smash it in the garden. Fucking awful. So I ended up finding files for the crib and stuff like that, so I can just print my own. Like, fuck it, I can't be asked.
Far more sensible, yeah.
Yeah. And then I got at the beginning of the year Aquaman from the Justice League, and that picture looks pretty good.
Yeah,
the promo looks good. What I opened up was fucking awful. Like, the sculpt was just shit. The hair, so see the hair there is black with a little bit of subtle highlighting. Looks quite nice.
Yeah.
Nah, some toddler had gone at mine with fucking pure gold. It looked fucking horrendous. It was awful. So I fixed the hair and thought, right, maybe I can live with that. And then you try and pose it, and the arms really don't move that much. They literally go like that, and that's about it. So I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then the base is fucking massive, so he just towers above everything else. And I was like, nah, I can't. I think it lasted about a week in my collection before I moved it on, because the idea was to try and get all the Justice League. And I managed to pick this up for about 150, so it wasn't actually a bad pickup, but it just wasn't worth 150. It really wasn't. So that was in a week and went straight out. I couldn't be doing it. Could not be doing it. But yeah, so that's pretty much my shit pickups of the year.
Cool. So Lee, you need to chip off now. So brilliant having you on, mate. Thanks so much for joining us. It's been really good fun.
I think you're muted there, mate. There you go.
He is.
Sorry. Tape 2.
Yeah.
Places have been mine, chaps. Honestly, it's been really, really good. Real fun. Thanks for having me. And hopefully we'll do this again on one platform or another.
Yeah, definitely.
If you ever want to come on, you've got an open invitation. Feel free to drop in whenever.
just drop us a line, mate. Yeah, definitely.
Really kind. Thank you.
And we're
Thanks,
more than
gents.
happy for you to promote your business on there as well. So
Yeah, very kind of you. Thank you very much indeed.
yeah. Well, have a great
great
Christmas.
show.
Yeah,
you too. Take care.
You too.
See you now.
Catch you later, mate.
Bye.
Guys, I'm going to have to drop off as well, I'm afraid.
Okay, no problem.
It's been great. Been great again, then.
Yeah, cool.
No worries. Not a problem, mate.
Cool. Catch up with you soon.
Yeah,
See
catch you later, mate.
Catch you later, mate. Bye.
Cheers, Dave.
And then there was 2.
And then there were 2. Yeah, so I think this section, I didn't put any slides in the end. I think we were just going to have a quick chat about kind of how we found collecting this year. And
yeah, kind of like the highs and lows, like what.
Yeah.
2020 has been a fucked up year anyhow.
Yeah.
And I don't think collecting has got away unscathed. I think there's been some good stuff that's happened, and there's been some shady shit, and there's been some quite funny shit as well. So it's been a bit of a funny old year.
Yeah, it's funny because I kind of expected it's a harsh way of looking at it, but I think when they first sort of went into lockdown with the furlough and thing, I expected to see like massive swathes of people kind of having to ditch their whole collections and everything. And I, in a mercenary kind of way, you sort of think, oh, you know, are there going to be some bargains? But I don't know, it didn't really transpire that way, and that's probably a good thing in that, you know, most people found that they you know, could maybe sold a few figures just to ease the pressure, but they didn't have to kind of, you know, wholesale sell up the lot just to kind of put food on the table and stuff. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, you know.
Yeah, I think the whole furlough thing that we had over here in the UK, where the government would pay up to 80% of your wages, really helped.
Yeah.
Because people then didn't have to. And plus, everyone was locked down for like 4 months. They weren't going out. They weren't spending money.
No, you couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it was only dickheads like me that still had to go to work. But yeah, I think...
And like you said, if anything, people just lost their ability to buy new figures, but were able to hold on to kind of what they had. Or, you know, like, they could sell one to get one in and kind of stuff like that. So I think the market stayed, you know, fairly buoyant, I think, throughout.
Yeah, it was surprising. So I was like, I was expecting just to see like whole collections being listed and people really partying with stuff. But it hasn't happened yet. But I think we're still feeling the knock-on effects of COVID. So I think we might see more of that next year, you know?
Yeah. I mean, we're still in it for the long haul. I think, you know, there's going to be significant effects for a while to come.
I think as the financial side of things catches up, that's when it's going to get tight for people.
Definitely. I think for me, it was mainly moving from the Detoffs to the Billy bookcases, finally bringing some sort of kind of cohesion to my collection, and also giving it a bit more space to breathe. And in that respect, I kind of offloaded quite a few figures. So I sold off all my Marvel, all of my kind of Justice League, DC stuff, just things that I'd kind of lost my passion for, you know, because they were more recent things. I enjoyed the movies. I kind of got swept up in the hype, but actually, when it comes down to it, the figures that kind of resonate with me are, like Lee was saying, the things that I would have been into as a kid growing up in the 80s, you know, Star Wars, and then you know a slightly older kid, you know, Aliens, Robocop, Indie, all that kind of stuff, and they're the sort of things that like will never leave my collection, and I can just kind of like improve and replace and things like that. So that's been really nice to get that kind of you know, a more cohesive collection, and I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, I think like when I first moved away from the Detoffs, it's really, I think if you've got quite a small collection, you can get like 2 figures on a shelf.
Yeah,
they look quite good. Anything more than that, you have to start looking at risers and things like that.
Yeah,
and you tend to get a little bit clustered. And then I went down the route of joining two together, which
yeah.
To be fair, I didn't think was a bad idea. I'd probably do that again because the cost was quite minimal and it was quite easy to do.
Yeah.
All you need is a skill saw and a something to joint the base.
Yeah.
It's the shelves that are the problem.
Yeah.
To either be a thick perspex, which then fucks around. But it's I liked having a long shelf, which was quite nice. But yeah, once you upgrade to something like Billy's or Bester's, you really start to you really start to focus in on displaying the figures properly and giving them enough room and stuff like that, not having it too cramped.
I mean, mine is still probably too cramped for my liking, but I can't fit any more in. But they're much better displayed than they were in the death.
Something cramped in a Billy or a Bester looks way better than it does in a Detolf. And when you think about it, figures now looking at 300 odd quid. Do you really want to put that in a £40 glass display case?
Yeah, and we've seen the horror stories where some of them have just kind of exploded.
I mean, you got people doing really stupid fucking stuff, like rising the shelves with the white
U-bolts,
U-bolts and stuff like that, and then putting tempered glass on the very edge on that. You think, do you not know how tempered glass works? That's you're asking for that.
And then putting a dirty great statue on it. That weighs a ton.
You should have your fucking collecting license revoked straight away for that. Like, just not happening. It's just nonsense.
And I think the other highlight for me has been the show. Really, I think we started it in 2019, and neither of us had any kind of experience in podcasting or video and stuff like that, and I didn't know whether I wanted to do it, but I didn't know if I'd end up kind of taking to it or feeling comfortable with it. And I think to start with, you're quite self-conscious about but then you just forget about that. You can see yourself on the video, but you just kind of forget. You don't care. We just chat and have a good laugh and stuff, and as a bonus, some other people enjoy listening to it, and I think as much as we're still far from the professional levels as seen by our forefathers collecting weekly, we have improved quite a bit, and we've got our shit down, and I've just really enjoyed it, and I'm quite proud of what we've achieved, and we're now well into our 30 odd episodes and still going strong. I
think the podcast's been a big bit of 2020. It's been good. I've enjoyed it, and like we said, we don't, for us it's just a chance for us to catch up, to kind of get our thoughts down, to talk about stuff, and if other people enjoy it, then great. If they don't, and we only had like 2 people watching, if we had no people watching, I'd probably still do this every week.
Oh, definitely. And I think we definitely felt that when we had the first lockdown, that if we could offer a little bit of entertainment to people, because people had a lot of time to listen to content, and that it felt kind of quite to be part of a community as well was really good.
Yeah, definitely, and it's just being able to talk to someone else about this kind of stuff and have a proper conversation with someone who understands it.
Yeah, exactly.
You can talk to other people about it, and they're kind of be a bit interested, but they don't really know. You can't really go into the fine detail of it because they don't.
No.
So yeah, and like you say, I think when we started off, it was a bit ropey. I think we've gotten better now. It's just stupid stuff that we do now that we never would have thought of. Like a year ago to just make things run a bit smoother.
Yeah, and we've learned by experience, really. So, no, it's been really good.
Yeah, 2020 has been a bit of a shit show. So the podcast has been quite a nice release, which has been good.
Yeah, definitely, and it's quite nice. Like having something else to sort of focus on, put a bit of work into. When others, like real life shit, gets a bit boring. it's a nice little break from that. Putting together the content and things like that. So that's good.
I mean, me in 2020, it's all been a bit up and down, really. So I think 2020, I've been banned from a few groups for not a lot of reasons, and I don't really understand why. I was an admin of one group, pretty much in name only, and then that meant that other groups got pissed off, and then it was like a blanket. If you were one of like the 20 admin, you were just gone. And I was like, the fuck's going on here? Why am I so a couple of times I was messaged by some of the admin from these groups that banned and went, I've just seen you've been kicked. What was that for? I'm like, I don't know.
I didn't do anything.
So I eventually just left anything that I was admin in and got added back in.
Affiliation,
But yeah, and I think I've noticed a lot of that in 2020, where different groups have started nipping at each other. It all gets a little bit it all just gets a little bit, my dick's bigger than your dick. And so I felt victim of that a couple of times this year. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why am I? And I tend to use Facebook to get out there with the painting work and stuff like that. So I can't really afford to be kicking booted out of groups.
Yeah, exactly. I just think that it's a great hobby. Everyone should be, and we have a bit of a laugh and stuff, but some people, but on the whole, I think it's not a serious game, and people that get on their high horses and they're so like, my collection's better than yours and all that. I don't get it, and I can't stand for it really. It's
it's weird at the moment with the groups, because you've got people who are kind of on their moral high horse and like, this should be a safe place and I should be able to share whatever I like.
Yes, yeah.
And then they post a picture of like a half naked python getting rammed by like fucking Wicket, and then you kind of go,
what do you expect?
Yeah, they get comments like, you're fucking wrong. You're fucking wrong. What the fuck is wrong with you? And they get people taking the piss, and then they get all offended and like, oh, this was a safe place.
Yes.
Oh, fuck off. Like, sometimes and I know, like when I was starting out painting, I would post my work and you would get dickheads who would comment and take the piss. And that's fine, because you're putting yourself out there, you have to expect it.
Yeah.
Some stuff I would put out, I'd be like, why am I posting this? Like, I should know better. Like, particularly some of the repaints of some of the old sideshow stuff. I'm like, why am I? But you would get decent feedback, and that's
you got to put yourself out there, and you improve by the sensible.
Yeah, but you have to expect that you're going to get some shit back.
Yeah,
and there has just been some. I've noticed, particularly this year, there's been a massive influx of kind of new collectors, and I will help anyone out. Right, if you post a genuine problem, I will try and help. I will comment in and say, well, try this or try that, not a problem. But this year I've noticed there are so many posts that are just common sense stuff. How do I get this wrist peg out? Right. What you do is you go to the little search icon and just search wrist peg. Not a problem. Or my favorite is zooming right into something, putting a big red circle around it going, is this normal? No, your behavior is not normal. In the slightest.
Yeah.
And I post the same shit. Like, if I have to zoom in a circle, it's not an issue. Move on. Like,
no,
just
you cannot see that from 10 feet away.
And I know, and this kind of leads me on to my next point. I know that we pay a lot for this sort of stuff, but there's certain things you just have to let go. And at the same time, when people go, well, fucking the amount Hot Toys charge for this. Well, hang on. Hot Toys are not charging you the full that you've paid for that.
No.
If we talk about our favourite retailer, 500 and odd quid for a Mando, Hot Toys are not charging you 500 quid.
No, probably about 200 quid.
Yeah, so you kind of have to bear that in mind when you're circling fucking the tiniest little paint chip on a battle damage figure.
Yeah, exactly. We have to accept that we don't live in Hong Kong and can just stroll down to a secret base and buy these things.
Even if it's a 5-minute walk, some of the stuff people are circling, it's not even a 5-minute walk.
No, it's not. And I know that some people say, well, it's right for you guys because you can repaint it or you can fix it and stuff. And yeah, we do expect to have to do a little bit of work to some of our figures. That's true.
But for us, that's part of the hobby.
It is, yeah. But there's no way that I would bother with 90% of what those people.
No.
If you've got a bloody great paint rub on the nose or something, yeah, fair enough, because you're going to notice that all day long, and that's not acceptable. But I don't know, a tiny black dot on the back of a stormtrooper's leg armor, which you're never going to see, and it's like, right, I want a refund. I want a new figure. Fucking hell.
Yeah, like what? Like, get a life. It's not worth it.
No.
But yeah, the thing is, price has become a big thing this year, particularly when when you're looking at some of the prices that we're getting charged for stuff. And that's made me shop about a bit more. To be fair, not necessarily a bad thing, but with the price, I've had to look at other ways to make a bit of money and other ways to kind of bridge that gap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
3D printing for me has been big this year.
Yeah,
I'm loving it. It's anyone who has a remote passing interest in collecting, for 150 quid, just buy a printer. They're so easy to use. And if I look at my Mando, I'm looking at that going, okay, so I want a cam tono that comes with the exclusive. I want, because this is the series, the Beskar one I've ordered. So I looked at it and went, okay, exclusive bits, cam tono, the Beskar, every single exclusive in that I could print.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm just going to print it. Like the exclusives now, if I can get a file for it, it's meaningless. I can just print it.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, you have the benefit that you can paint. So you haven't got to kind of farm it out to someone else then to paint it. So you got the perfect scenario there, really.
It's almost like the perfect storm. I can print stuff and head sculpts and things like that. And I found a lot of people through the printing groups who will sculpt really intricate statues, and I messaged them and go, just out of interest, if I just wanted the head, how much would you charge us for that? And they're like, just the head. I'm like, well, I do 1/6 scale figures, so all the rest of it I can do soft goods and stuff like that, so it's just the head. And they're like, I know, like 20 quid, something like that. It's insane.
Like,
insane. And the amount of free files there are, and the amount of even the paid ones aren't that expensive. It's really, I'm really looking forward to next year and seeing what I can do with it. Maybe picking up another printer. It's stuff like I'm doing. So one of the things I'm going to work on, once I've got a load of these commissions and the Patreon scopes out of the way, is everyone keeps doing battle damage faders. I've wanted to do one for a while, but I've never been able to get hold of a Vader cheap enough for me to take a Dremel to it. So I finally got one. It was an absolute bargain, so I jumped on it. And I was thinking, well, it would be a shame to cut up the belt boxes, the chest box. And I was thinking, there must be files for it. And there are. So if I bought the files or got some free ones, I could just scale them up and fucking destroy them. I could alter a lot of them just in Mesh Mixer, for argument's sake. And then I can then part out the bits, the clean bits. So, and it's stuff like when you notice people do these types of customs, they do the same robot leg, which is a standard 1/6 scale leg. Right. They spray paint it silver.
Just paint it silver,
Well, there's actual files for whole robots. So if I want a robotic leg, I can just cut the leg off I want and scale it to size. Same with arms and stuff like that. So I think we're going to see it take off a lot more next year.
Yeah.
But my only worry is that Do you know a little while ago you could download games and stuff like that, like the ROMs and things like that, and a lot of the file, a lot of the websites got shut down. I don't think we're going to see corporations going after the people making the files. I think they're going to go after the websites like CG Trader and stuff like that. So when you're looking at the stuff people are printing, I downloaded a file the other day for a whole IG unit.
Okay,
wow. The whole thing. KSO, a whole one of them. I've got files to do one of them. It's just my print bed isn't big enough. So there is, you know, there's stuff that I can see getting clamped down on. Purely because of, you know, we're looking at third-party figures going, oh, you know, Disney are going to come down on them. Well, actually, I think their bigger threat is probably these sites where people can just 3D print their stuff. Because the price of printing now has bottomed out. 150 quid for a printer, like 40 quid for a resin. It's insane, absolutely insane. But that's kind of my 2020 in collecting, really.
So I suppose I haven't got a slide here, but as we are broadcasting this on New Year's Eve, what's the one thing you're looking forward to collecting wise in 2021? Is there one thing you can kind of focus in on?
I think, and I pretty much say this every year, but I really want to focus my collection properly. So far this year, I've ditched the Marvel stuff. That's all boxed up, ready to sell. I really want to be able to focus on certain things. So my Star Wars, my DC, like I'm fine with those at the moment. I could always do with more Star Wars, but you know, really just being a bit more selective about stuff. And looking at maybe spending a bit more time on improving what I have. Over chasing new figures. And not being so quick to just sell something to get something else. One of my biggest regrets is always selling stuff and then going, I really, really wish I hadn't done that. You know, and I've spent a lot of money buying back figures. Like if I look at my collection, I've got, you know, the Vader I bought the other day for this custom. I've had that before. It's the Sideshow Deluxe one. You know, I bought it back. There's no need for that. I've now got an Empire hand again. Well, I've had an Empire hand before, and I got rid of it, and now I've spent ages rebuilding a new one. You know, I keep flip flopping between Return of the Jedi and Empire, and actually, I've got more Empire stuff than Return of the Jedi. But I'd spent ages going over to Return of the Jedi. So
exactly. So kind of a bit like I feel I've possibly achieved with mine this year is your goal for next year to kind of solidify that, you know, the core themes, and then
I want to make the most of the space I've got. Because this isn't a big room. My display case at the back is the width of the room. And then I've got a great fucking DeLorean in another display case here. So it's trying to get it all to work. I'd love nothing more than to actually set a proper desk up down here and have it as a proper study and be able to look at stuff. And at the moment, I've got a lot of empty cubes where I've been shunting stuff around and trying to sell stuff. I'm kind of looking at the DeLorean thinking, if I could almost knock through into another cube, the DeLorean would fit in there. Albeit I'd have this fucking horrible line down the middle of it, but I'd get it in the space. So just concentrating really on what I've got and getting it to work for me.
For me, it'll be the Jazz Inc. Falcon cockpit. Which the good news is they're starting to ship out again because they had some problems with a couple of the pieces in terms of them not holding up under shipping, and also there was an issue with some of the packaging. I think the polystyrene packaging. So they've gone back to their supplier, and both the pieces and the packaging are all up to scratch again. And I think the next batch of people have been getting their shipping invoices with them looking to get them out very late December, early Jan. So it's good that the kind of the production line's back on for that. I'm not sure when mine's due. Probably spring, because I ordered quite late. Because they were going to close. I think I ordered it. There was only about a week left on the pre-order, but they have kept it open because they've had a few people that have had to say, "Look, I need to cancel because I lost my job," or things like that. And Yoast has been very good, I think, at like giving them their money back, and offering it out to other people. So yeah, that is going to be fucking epic. And that's going to kind of, I still don't know where it's going to go. But
it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's I'll find somewhere for it, and that's gonna be phenomenal. That's kind of like a dream piece that you never thought that, Hot Toys teased one years back and then never came to fruition, and it's just kind of like a boyhood kind of dream to have the cockpit with Han and Chewie in there. So that I say hopefully would be kind of first quarter of next year. So that's kind of quite a good thing. I don't know what else is on the cards. I've got a few pre-orders. I've got the Mando speeder bike Scout Trooper that you said you might be interested in if I don't choose not to keep him.
I'm looking at the Mando line and I'm thinking that's kind of what I want to concentrate on next year.
It's a very strong line. It's very good.
The thing is, although it's Mando versions, it's all characters that we've wanted for ages.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a real bolt on to kind of the original trilogy, really. Yeah. You can kind of and I think I'm not sure. I think that's the only figure I've actually got due out next year, because I've got I think Snowspeeder Luke and Lando are 2022, I think. So who knows? I mean, Asmus might put out some. They're still putting out Lord of the Rings figures. There might be a couple of those.
Oh, I've got to talk to you about that.
Yeah,
you bastard. Because you were whittling on about bloody Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit on the last episode.
Oh yes.
I went back and searched for Lord of the Rings on Netflix and Amazon, because I remembered it was on Netflix. Couldn't find them, and I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" But I found The Hobbit on Amazon.
Yep.
Put the first one on, expecting, because I've seen it before. Remembered that I didn't think it was that great, and that the CG was shit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sat down. I literally watched all three within like 2 days. It was absolutely brilliant, and I was like, "Why did I ever hate this? Like, this is ridiculous." Now I really want to watch Lord of the Rings again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but everywhere I find it, it's so fucking expensive. But I'm like, The Hobbit was fucking brilliant. And now I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'd like some Hobbit figures. And I'm thinking, no, stick with what you want.
Oh man, no.
Just said I want to home my collection.
You really don't need a whole new line that you'd not even considered before.
No. But the film, I was really impressed. Really liked the film.
Yeah. I mean, Lord of the Rings is a very different feel. It's a lot more kind of
it's a lot slower from what I remember.
Serious and dark kind of thing. The Hobbit's got quite a lot of humor with the dwarves and stuff. But it's still good fun. And the Asmus figures are really good. It's a strong line, and they're pushing out more. I mean, they've done all the main characters now, so I'm not sure how many, but they are going to bring out a Gollum next year. So I definitely want a Gollum.
You can't not have a Gollum.
No, it's odd that they've taken this long to make one, because you'd think it's not a particularly difficult. There's not a lot to it.
Well, I suppose you've got a whole new body you'd have to make.
Yeah, exactly.
This hurdle.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe they needed to get the big characters out, and to prove that it was that people would buy the Gollum before they put the R&D into the body and stuff.
I suppose with the other characters, barring the hobbits and the dwarves, there's probably not a great amount of R&D to go into them, because they can use standard 1/6 scale bodies. They're all fairly standard bodies. But they're cool. So maybe pick up a few more of those. But the as I say, the collection's fairly sorted now. Maybe another indie. Well, I have got another indie planned, because I've got that head from you. So say never say never.
No. Well, that'll make it around dozen in 1/6 scale. So that sounds like a good number.
Yeah, exactly. Go for the dozen. Be fine.
Definitely.
Yeah. So it's probably that time where we should thank Watto again.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, thanks to Watto. He sponsors this podcast and a lot of the CW podcasts.
Yeah.
If you want Kenner replacement parts for vehicles, he's your man. He 3D prints them and they are spot on. He does head sculpts for characters that you wouldn't even know you wanted yet. Like I say, Mando Mondays are very special because of him. Episode drops on a Friday. Monday, you're getting a head sculpt to that character.
Yeah,
really nice bloke. If there's anything you don't see there that you want, drop it.
Even your own image immortalized in plastic, like Zach has had. Done.
Yes, yep. So you can even get yourself done.
Yep,
if you're one of them weirdos. But yeah, he's a top guy. Pleasure to deal with. His animated stuff is on another level. I love it.
Yeah,
So
brilliant stuff.
Yeah,
thanks, Sean.
Well worth dropping Sean a message there.
So yeah, this is the time of the show to thank our Patreon sponsors, helping us out with the network, upgrading equipment, helping us out with the StreamYard and stuff. So thanks a lot to you guys. So if I run through them: Ben Porter, Griffin Campbell, Sean Fear, Ian Seavey, Rennie Mendes, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, Leah Hernandez, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Dan Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Kratt, Jason Nelson, Big Fern, King Zachary V, Caesar Mariquin, Eddie Mendez, Eric Ruiz, Mario Cortez, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Jesse Contreras, Stephen Maria Stanley, and Lord Volditor. Thank you very much for your continued support of the network.
Yeah, cheers, everyone.
Yeah, we've got 3 tiers if you want to become a Patreon. We've got Sweet Angel, which is the lowest tier, and you get a sticker sent straight to your door every month, and access to After Dark replay if you can't catch it live, which is very difficult if you don't actually live in the States. Second tier, $15 a month, is Certified Crispy, which gets you a certificate, the stickers, and assistance with figure fix from Zach. Again, more of a bonus if you're in the US rather than overseas like us. And then the newest tier, the top tier What a Guy, gets you a poster, all of the benefits of the previous tiers, the silhouette poster of Zach and Dean that you can see on Zach's wall, doubles of all the stickers so you can give them to your friends, and Ian will paint one sculpt a year for you. You buy the sculpt and you're responsible for shipping to and from Ian and any customs charges therein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we have all of our shows. We've got a fair few on the network now. We got Auction, which I think is all wrapped up for this year.
Yep.
Which is on Auxiliary, the Facebook group that we have, where you can sell your unwanted crap to the masses in an auction, an eBay style auction, which is very.
Yep.
We got Small Talk, which is Dylan is now Rona free and he is back.
Good man.
And Top Man, he is back and he's holding his own. He's doing the show on his own for now, and he's doing really well.
I
don't think I can do it on my side.
He puts a lot of work in. Like when I went on that one show, and like the show sheet kind of like blew ours away. I was like, man, the detail you've got in there. And I think he said it was basically like 1/6. Although some weeks we think there's a lot on there compared to smaller scale. I mean, there's just so much stuff out there that they have to cover.
Yeah, we're quite lucky with ours.
We are. We're very, we dabble in a few other bits, but really it's kind of quite controlled. But, with Small Talk, they're dealing with hundreds of different companies, different scales, different lines. And there's a lot to keep up on top of. So, kudos go out to those guys. Dylan, keep up the good work, mate.
Then we've got Collecting Comics, which oddly enough is all about comics. Then we have After Dark, which is the seedier side of collecting.
Yeah.
The Joy of Hobbying, which again is Zach tinkering. Collecting Weekly, which we like to call the mothership, which is our American counterparts. Collecting rarities, which is Rainer. It was a really good one he did the other day. We went to a like medieval fair.
Oh right,
yeah. We don't really have those over here.
No, it's funny. I actually went to one when I was in the States.
Yeah,
it was quite a bizarre experience, but good fun.
Yeah, it's a little bit hey nonny no and that.
Yeah.
And then you have Us, probably the best thing on the network. And then Creeps Are Us, which is the creepier side of life, which is Manny's. Yes, that is the network. That is the shows we have.
So I think all that remains is to wish you all a happy new year, and I hope that 2021 is kinder to all of us than 2020 has been.
Yeah, the fucking dumpster fire that is 2020.
Yeah.
So hopefully everyone's had a good year. I doubt it, but a passable year.
Yeah.
We've got to the end of it, and we're still here, which is handy.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and cool. Well, stay safe, everyone, and happy 2021.
Yeah. Catch you later.
Bye.
Shalom.